evening, friends and neighbors. It's me again, the fence guy. We're going to go ahead and bring you another questions by the campfire. You guys know we had a council meeting tonight, and we've got a couple things to talk about. First thing, I want to talk about something that wasn't brought up in the council meeting. I'd like to thank all of our citizens here in Chickasaw, our neighbors, our friends, everybody that came to the aid of the fire department. If you brought beds, if you brought shovels, if you brought water, Gatorade, Powerade, some stuff I ain't even ever heard of before. Just want to let you know those guys, thank you very much. They can't jump on Facebook and say it because a lot of them are still worried about losing their jobs over the what the mayor passed back in January, so they can't come out and say it. But I just want to let you know that they are very grateful for all the help and support that they've gotten from the community as well as the police department. These guys are working hard. They're working for less money than they should. They're still waiting for their wage adjustments. That still hasn't happened yet. I'm not quite sure about the 5%, so I'm not going to talk about whether they got that or not yet, or if that's been added. So I can't talk about that because I don't know. I don't want to give you some false information. A little bit of excitement at the council meeting tonight. We're going to go into that. And so why don't we just go ahead and kick off with, well, the council meeting.
Order. Please rise for the invocation by Councilman Adam Moore and remain standing for the pledge of allegiance.
If y'all join me for a moment, Heavenly Father, we thank you for this chance to come together as a city and as a council to make decisions in the best interest of our citizens and our city, and we ask that you guide us and direct us in all that we do this evening. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sheriff, we have to call the roll, please.
Yes, sir. Jim Hanson.
Here.
Adam Bourne.
Here.
Jennifer White. Here. Ed Broadhead.
Here.
Nash Campbell.
Here.
J.R. Rawls.
Here.
Ken Steer.
Here. Thank you. We need a motion to adopt our agenda.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Adam Bourne, second by Ken Sterrett. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Prior to the meeting, the minutes of our last meeting of February 14th were circulated. If there are no additions or corrections to these, is there a motion to approve?
Move for approval.
This means she can go ahead and post the minutes on our website as of tomorrow morning.
Let it be noted that in the pre-council meeting earlier, we had a presentation of our 2022 fiscal year audit by our auditor, Aviso. This was a clean audit, which is the highest audit that a city can receive. This will not be approved. The process here is just to simply read this that was presented into the minutes. Moving now to...
Hold up a minute. I don't want to go too far without addressing this. This was the 2022 audit that some people have requested. They've even requested did the correct channels through City Hall with the city clerk to try to get information on that they weren't given. But they did bring it up in the meeting, and it's real quick, as you can see. But they did have a lady come in at the pre-meeting and discuss everything with us. Michelle, our city clerk, decided to chime in about the RSA, and she said that was not added into the audit. And one of the reasons why it was because there wasn't a discrepancy with it. My question is, if there's no discrepancy with it, then why do we owe $16,000 worth of penalties that was waived? But again, you can't take my word for it. Let me just go ahead and show you.
You took that out because that was fulfilled this year, so no liability is on the books anymore since that got brought up. And there, last year there was accrued liability on there, that's all gone this year.
Will that be available for the public? Unfortunately, the audio is not that good, and I don't think anybody got any real good audio back there. They put this big industrial fan back there that blocked out a lot of the meeting that a lot of us could barely hear anything in there because of that fan. I'm not sure if they did it to keep us from hearing them, or they did it as a courtesy. I'm going to go ahead and take it as a courtesy. So I want to thank y'all because it was really hot back in that room. But I think that fan was a little overkill. But I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Anyway, back to the meeting.
The first item is the bid opening for the Valley Road Repair Project.
All right, even though we thought we were gonna have 4 total bidders, we only ended up having 2. The first of which is James H. Adams and Son Construction Company. Got a Chickasaw PO Box address.
Five minutes later.
I'd recommend approving the L&K Construction LLC bid based on the tabulation sheets covering all items almost identically. I can recommend you approve that subject to final attorney and Neil Schaefer's review.
Okay. What was that amount? $201,122.23. The difference between the bids is $44,000. The recommendation by the city attorney of L&K is the lowest bid. That's bid number 2.
That's correct.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve awarding the bid to L&K Construction?
Move for approval.
Second. Motion by Jim Hanson, second by Adam Bourne. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The award of the bid is to L&K Construction, dependent on a final attorney review.
And if I may, we'll have the bid tabulations to you sometime tomorrow, so you can look for the bids for your consideration.
The next item is participation procedure. This is a procedure that's related to the formatting of our agenda and public comment. We had a number of input items that were put together in a consensus, and earlier in the pre-council, there was a mutual unanimous agreement to this consensus of these items that would formulate the participation criteria going forward. So at this time, is there a motion to approve the policies for participation procedure for future council meetings?
I'll make the motion that we adopt the participation procedure for the future council meetings.
Second. Motion by Ken Sterrett, second by J.R. Rawls. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The next item is appointment to the library board. Kat Dixon, okay. Is there a motion to approve the appointment of Kat Dixon to the library board?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Ken Sterrett and Jennifer White.
Second.
Second by Adam Bourne. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Kat.
Congratulations.
The next items are resolutions and ordinances. The first ordinance is 23-04. This is for the establishment of a beautification board. This will be our first reading. This beautification board has been quite busy already, as they have had monthly meetings since I think October or November of last year, and they have been very productive. They have some work that is coming up in this month, in fact next week. So we are very happy to have the energy behind this board and the potential work that they have.
Okay, I'm going to stop it real quick. Once again, this is where transparency becomes a problem. We got a beautification board coming up, and they've elected 5 people to go ahead and run in this board, and that's fine. I'm all for it. I believe in it. But my questions is where's the money coming from? What are they doing with the money, and who are they going to be? Who are they going to be reporting to? I think these are things that are needed to know. Whether it's going to be through donations, is the taxpayers going to be paying for it? Are they going to be working through grants? Who's going to be nominated on the board? But again, like I said, I'm all for it. I think it's a great idea. I've seen some of the work that they've already done. I think they've already been like an unofficial board, and they've done some beautiful work out there on Lee Street already. So I'm for this, but again, I have to be a little bit skeptical due to the fact that there is no transparency with this at all. So I'd like to know, have those questions answered before I can actually give out an opinion. And how would one get involved exactly? I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that would love to volunteer and help with this.
Planned and the funds that they have coming in to make Chickasaw. So, ordinance 2304, is there a motion to approve the first reading establishing the beautification board?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Jennifer White, second by Ken Sterrett. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The next item is a resolution. This is resolution number 23-05. This is to join an opioid settlement. There are two stages to this resolution. The first is settlement participation. The second stage is to agreement of the allocation. And this settlement will be with Teva, Allergen, CVS, Walmart, and Walgreens. Is there a motion to approve to join the opioid settlement, resolution 23-05? A motion by Jennifer White and J.R. Rawls.
Second.
Second by Adam Bourne. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Okay. Now this is again an issue I have where they read out an ordinance, and they give you a brief, very brief description of what it is, but they don't tell you anything about it. Luckily, I went to the pre-council meeting where they gave a little bit more information about it. So let's go ahead and take a look at that.
23-05 resolution is for us to join an opioid settlement. There's no money amount that is associated with this yet. Joining this and this resolution is two-part. The first is a settlement participation, and the second part of this resolution, all in one, is the allocation agreement. And this is with Teva, Allergan, CVS, and Walgreens. So in the past, these have been, and Walmart, yeah. In the past, these have been good for us. There are strings attached to the money. It can only be spent on certain things. I think we were looking at some of those earlier, Michelle,
Yes, sir.
and they were EMT equipments like Narcan and some,
Defibrillators.
yeah. So we desperately need those. I know that pricing those out, they are very expensive and prohibitively so.
Prohibitively so. I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to have to disagree with you on that. We should be able to afford them, okay? You guys are wanting to go ahead and you want to get money from Walmart and Walgreens and all that. But you guys got money from the COVID fund that you guys haven't used to give the fire department and the police department what they needed. We have no idea what's going on with that money. There's nothing been etched in stone. There's nothing been laid out for us. Nobody knows what's going on with that COVID money. I did get a chance to speak to JR tonight, and he told me that the fire chief and the police chief are going to have to put in for the things that they need. So we've got 2 months to get everything that we need for the fire department, everything that the police department we need turned in, so we can get the COVID money to pay for those things, so that we're going to be well equipped in both of those departments. Meanwhile, you guys are running around doing new floors. Okay, I get it. You said that the floors that cost $22,000. $22,000 was paid for by the courts. Okay, I get that, because they needed new carpet in the court clerk's office. Okay, you guys did that. You guys did the courtroom, the hallway, the clerk of courts, not the clerk of courts, but the city clerk's office. You guys did in this meeting room right here. You can see the new flooring, and you can see the new paint job that you guys have gotten done since our last meeting. Since the last meeting, you guys have painted City Hall, knowing that our citizens needed these life-saving devices, knowing they needed defibrillators, knowing that they needed these things. Again, I want to thank the citizens that stepped up and helped the fire department get the things they needed. This is ridiculous. But then again, you guys want more money for things that you're probably not going to buy.
The next resolution is 23-06. This is an agreement between Volkert and the city of Chickasaw. This is our annual MS4 agreement. This is a permit for our stormwater discharge and the evaluation of that. Is there a motion to approve Resolution 23-06, the annual agreement between Volker and the City of Chickasaw?
Sorry, don't mean to interject again, but the last mayor we had, there's a storm drain underneath my property. We reported it to him. He sent out a crew. They tore up my whole yard and they replaced the pipe that was underneath it. Unfortunately, they didn't go back far enough, so I still have an area in my yard that needs to be repaired. I've reported this to Mayor Broadhead twice, and the only response I got was, well, it was there when you bought the place. True, it was here when I bought the place, but again, it belongs to the city. They need to replace it. Let's continue. I hope that's in this little amendment right here, or whatever the hell it is.
Second. Motion by Jim Henson and Adam Bourne, second by J.R. Rawls. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Accounts payable, Michelle.
Okay, we have in line for accounts payable $18,063.50.
Motion to put these in line for payment.
Motion to approve?
Motion by Adam Bourne, second by Jennifer White. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. We have no miscellaneous business, but we do have an announcement. As was mentioned earlier in our pre-council session, the Brooks Park Improvement Project has been long in the works. The first time we put this out for bid, we did not have anyone that bid on the project. So we had to rebid it, essentially start back from square one. We did have a bid. The second time, this was to Bay Area Contracting, and the bid was awarded to them following that. And a notice to proceed was given on January 30th of this year. So wheels are turning slowly, but they are turning. We've already used some grant money that we have acquired to redesign some of the signs at Brooks Park, the big sign that's up on the hill, as well as some of the trails. And we are pursuing other grants for Brooks Park as well. So just a quick update on what's happening there down at the park. So, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'm gonna stand up.
You.
Wait till the adjourn.
Motion by Adam Bourne, second by Jennifer White. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? We stand adjourned.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I'd like to know the policy now for speaking. Since the meeting's over, have y'all addressed the media back here, Mr. Mayor? Rob? Yeah, we wanna know now, we want the media to hear it.
It's not in the form to be posted. It was just developed in the back. It was a consensus of all council members and mayor.
Okay. All right. But what is it? I'm asking you, what is it?
It's not written. It's a consensus document that is not
What,
prepared.
what was the consensus though? I mean, how many minutes do we get? What's the procedure for doing it?
I don't have that in front of me.
So 30, and then the next offense would be 90 days. And the third offense, 6 months. Okay. Is that acceptable?
If you're gonna do that, then I'd say minimum for a year, if you're gonna give 3 chances, so you should have one, certainly should have 3. Somebody should do it, just go up 3 times.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the offense. Because
Well, we have some other questions though, for the media while they're here. I want to apologize to y'all for what I said last time. I was out of line for saying that, but I'm not out of line this time. This paint, all this flooring and everything, it came out of court funds. That could have been used for law enforcement purposes. And every one of these guys know it, so just make sure y'all know that.
And this is them talking to people after the meeting. That's how they handle it. Those 4 right there, they always walk out.
Yeah.
As you can see, these 2 are staying behind, as always. They didn't address the issue with the fire department. They haven't addressed the issues with the police department. And that wrapped up our meeting. Normally I'd go ahead and end the questions by the campfire with music and a bunch of other stuff. But I think it's probably best if I go ahead and give a little bit of homage to somebody that actually came out They came out last week and did a report on what was going on, and they returned, not last week, but last council meeting, I'm sorry. And they returned this council meeting to do a follow-up story. And I think they did an outstanding job, and I just want to thank them on behalf of myself, my neighbors, all the citizens for coming out here and doing this report. And so we're going to go ahead and kick off to that. So God bless all my neighbors, and God bless Chickasaw.
Next time, they'll have to remove me in cuffs, because that's the right thing to do, is stand up for this community.
No progress made tonight for the Chickasaw residents who say they should be allowed to speak at city council meetings. At the last meeting, the mayor told us residents are supposed to submit their questions and concerns in writing ahead of time so the council can properly address and research them. But residents say they want to be able to speak with city leaders face to face. They say they're not being heard, like this moment from tonight's meeting where one man tries to speak with the mayor.
The consensus document that's not prepared.
What was the consensus, though? I mean, having the minutes to get what's the procedure for it?
I don't have that problem.
Well, we have some other questions, though, from the media while they're here. I would apologize to y'all for what I said last time. I was out of line for saying that, but I'm not out of line this time. This paint, all this flooring and everything, it came out of court funds that could have been used for law enforcement purposes. And every one of these guys know it, so just make sure y'all know that.
Now, we caught up with the man in that video after the meeting. He told us the city came up with a policy to allow residents to speak, but they never elaborated on what that policy is.
They were supposed to have told us something per the last meeting. And Mayor Broadhead also said that he was very transparent and that they would stay after meetings and come before meetings. I think you got it on the record that they walked out when I was trying to speak to them in a polite manner. I wasn't screaming at them. I was just asking for what is the policy going to be, and they're not telling us. Not acceptable.
And we also tried to speak with Mayor Barry Broadhead after the meeting. He was not available.
How can you dare do something like this in Black History Month?
While I was making this video, I noticed the ending to this, and it also brought up something else to mind. We've had 2 council meetings this month, and not once have they recognized Black History Month. We have a lot of great African Americans that work here in Chickasaw on our police force, the city employees, fire department, local businesses, what do they call it? Own their own businesses out here. And I think it's just a shame that they weren't recognized throughout this month, and that absolutely nothing was done by the city hall. Nothing was done by the library. They weren't recognized at all at any point in time at all this month. And that's one of those things that really needs to change, because this community is made up of all kinds of different people. And it's a shame that as leaders, you guys never recognized that. You had 28 days to do it in.